Nobody on the channel, I love to talk about incredibly unsuccessful planes. And especially like, concept planes and developments that had to be canceled mysteriously in the past. Like this plane right here, which never got to actual market. Everybody, let me present to you the Lear Fan 2100. This one was a small 6-seater business jet that was manufactured by Lear Avia, a company founded by Bill Lear, who also founded Learjet. This plane was first announced in the early 1980s, but development was eventually halted. And let me, by the way, also say that this plane is incredibly quirky. I mean, what is this? We've got a V-tail and some sort of interesting hybrid engine construction. Basically a jet/propeller kind of thing. And this plane was definitely made for the propeller market. Such a plane that would be able to fly to Courchevel as well, while being an incredibly promising private jet. But the quirks don't end when you look at the engines. I mean, it is 2 engines technically, right? The quirks go on if you go into the absolutely weird cockpit here. I mean, look at the yoke! Well, that looks like a... Seriously, that looks like a gamepad, like an Xbox gamepad. Why is everything colored? This might be a bit out of touch with what the real thing looked like. I mean, of course, this plane actually, which 3 models were built off, basically prototypes, back in the 80s should have probably looked incredibly different and did not have Garmin G1000 panels, but the quirkiness definitely shows here in the cockpit. What is this? These days, the 3 prototypes that were produced you can find in museums all across the United States. But of course, you cannot purchase any of those planes ever. You couldn't ever until now, because Lionheart Creations, known for their particularly bad former planes, has released their Lear Avia basically interpretation a few months ago. You can buy it now for like $30. It got a very low rating. What they've done again is maybe change the cockpit a bit. Again, it looked incredibly different back then. Made it a bit modern of a plane. I mean, the actual design itself looks incredibly promising. So let's go ahead and see. Is this worth $30? All right, and Courchevel is a great place to start off indeed. Let's turn this plane on in search of more quirks. Jesus Christ, okay, it looks like literally a children's toy. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have done it like this. Okay, so let's turn on the master avionics. Okay, generate, we can already start the engine up. Start the engine, ignition on. All right, that works very well. Nothing to see. I mean, seriously, nothing to see. For some reason, the Garmin panels on this thing don't work. With the flap lever. I've never seen such a stupid flap lever. It's incredibly, it doesn't even work in this plane. Jesus Christ. All right, this is the, some more stuff. Oh, why do I have a why? That makes no sense. Checklist, all right, that's great. And, okay, that's kind of nice. We now see what's going on. Nice. All right, yeah, okay, this is broken. Anyway, our engine has actually started working. One of the great things a turboprop like this can do is, of course, reverse thrust, so that's no problem. Come on. Oh, it is laggy, though. Why is that now? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, takeoff shouldn't be that hard to do either, because this plane was known for being incredibly powerful. I mean, we can put it here on the specs. This was fast. Actually, this would have been the fastest business jet on the market with an incredibly long range. You can fly this plane across the Atlantic. I mean, honestly, flying 1,700 nautical miles, no problem at all. So come on, let's go and just take off here. Yes. All right, there we go. Flaps are out with this incredibly dorky flap lever. Great. Oh, geez, this is incredibly fast of an acceleration. Yeah, wow, the performance sucks a lot. Jesus Christ. Let's put the landing gear up. No problem at all. Yes, this plane with its incredibly powerful hybrid engine, the pushing prop, it's just incredible. I mean, you can compare it very well to the Piaggio Avanti, a very fast, very quirky plane. That one actually made it to the market in the 80s. And while we're at it, come on, let's go ahead and just change livery. We've got a lot of them. Air Force livery. Oh, Lionheart was quite optimistic with this one. All right, let me try a hard airport. Literally, I think this plane is wonderful. Just the performance sucks even more here at St. Bartholomew. I mean, this plane needs no runway apparently, but still can seat like 6 people. Oh, Jesus Christ, what is that of a configuration? We've got a little bit of a kitchen here. This is a very PC-12 style plane, even though it's a bit bigger for sure. Try to get the door open. Let me do that. Yeah, check this out. Here we go. This is what it looks like. We've got a few seating here. The sports seats are incredibly weird. There's no seat belts either. It's not a very safe plane. So that's great. But yeah, this is very PC-12y. Probably doesn't have a lavatory, which kind of sucks. And we've got a very geeky, quirky backpack and some glasses. Other than that, perfectly fine jet. It has an incredibly dorky design. I mean, it literally looks like my gaming chair that I have. Yeah. Now, talking about Quirky, the instruments just still don't work. We have no information about how fast we are, even though we do have these backup instruments, which don't work either. That's great. Anyway, come on, let's try to take off from this pirate island. Shouldn't be an issue at all. But this is seriously, like, the acceleration is crazy. Check this out. Boom, that is literally a fighter jet. And it's incredible because the door is still open. Whoops. Let me just close that for a second. Yeah, this is incredibly poorly made. Great. I mean, look at that gaming yoke. Everything is so gaming here. What are these seats? Very sporty approach. Come on, let me now try to land this plane as well. Because we haven't done that. We're fast. This thing has like airliner kind of speeds. I can still land at the quickest airplane. Like, look at that. Look at that turn performance. All right, I don't trust Lion Hearts with physics, but this is great. Oh, come on, let's form for that. A flying fighter jet. I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of the PC-12 and the Piaggio Avanti. You know, all these small, high-power, turboprop business planes. I'm trying to go for outside view because now I can see how fast we are. We're not very fast. Anyway, come on, let's put the plane to the ground here. I don't think we have a time issue or a touchdown zone issue. We just have to pass the reverse here, get the brakes going. There we go. A Ukraine livery. All right, so come on, let's try a Saba now. Shortest runway in the world. Probably shouldn't be an issue at all. You know, a great way to win me over as a plane is just to land on short runways. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. We're very fast, but there we go. No problem at all. Reverse thrust is out. Look, this plane can land literally everywhere. What is that? That's been like the shortest stop I've ever seen here at Saba. We're in a relatively large plane. A 6-seater private plane landing at 90 knots. Look at that stop. Like, you will need a seatbelt just to not die. What am I saying? Great. I mean, this definitely looked like a very promising plane. I mean, look at that very sturdy landing gear. I mean, I'm thinking of dirt operations. No worries at all. We're in Nepal at 12,000 feet. And, you know, with this kind of engine, you would have no issue operating at, you know, high air. Place. What am I saying? There you go. Look at that. Just taking off from Siang Bosch. And yeah, there's a little town here. Look at that. And landing gear says flush within the plane. Wow, how can you hate this? Now this begs the question, why was the Lear Fan 2100 canceled? Well, it was a combination of factors, and the major factor was the high development cost, you know, associated to creating a new plane, which the company just couldn't afford. It was money issues. Money issues. They couldn't secure enough funding to continue the project after 3 planes were built. Also, the small business jet market wasn't really that big back then. Probably would be today. So in a bit of a mix of a bad market and no monies, and the plane failed. Great. It's a bit of a shame. But well, that's the lesson about money. And I probably need to spend some money on a new computer. Or it's probably just the plane. The add-on sucks. Good night.
Well, thank you so much to all the people who give me lots of monies, like Mariana, Ragings, Junk in the Trunk, Mike, John O'Brien, Derek, Matt, Sleepy Boy, Kelly Chaos, Ryland Williams, New York, Shadow, Ignuana, and Moritz Bohausen.